Good morning, Vietnam! Hello, so this video ended up much longer than I would have liked. It is approximately 22 minutes of, I guess, just me fucking talking. I've got soy milk here to drink this morning, because it is the morning, and this is like the second part of my breakfast. I had a chia pudding, that's what I had. I almost said bagel, and that'd be a lie. I'm just having some soy milk because I don't like real milk. I like cheese though. Sorry, vegans. So if you saw the title card, I don't know. It didn't fit because I don't know formatting and I'm too fucking lazy. Well, anyways. It's how to steal like an artist. And as you can see on the screen currently, I have a photo from Pinterest. Oh shit, gotta cut some of that shit out. Hang on. Yeah, go back, cut out my photos. Anyways, I have a photo from Pinterest, a photo from Instagram of a Greece city or something. I just searched up vacation in the hashtags. And then a photo from Ross Draws in the wake of this, him copying Pinterest photos and not tagging models. Because everybody does that, though. And it's like, okay. I have mixed opinions. But in the wake of this tracing art scandal, let's steal like an artist and steal from Ross, steal from Pinterest, and steal from some vacationer. So what I'm doing is I'm copying the pose, referencing the pose, whatever you want to say, from the Pinterest photo, kind of stealing the hair and the face from Ross, and I'm stealing the elements for the environment from the vacation photo. And I didn't even copy the vacation photo completely. I just kind of used it as inspiration. I used that basic color palette. I also really had to use that hand for reference. The hand ends up looking like fucking shit. Sip time. Sippy sippy. Someone is calling the house phone. And my cat is sleeping next to me. I love her so much. Anyways, so like I started out with this sketch, right? So what you want to do when you're using references is use it when you're sketching, and then if you can, put it away, but then bring it back when you're having a hard time with something, you know? And you'll see me do that later when I need to reference the hand from the Pinterest model. And ow, my stomach hurts. It is not the soy milk's fault. I took ibuprofen, but I took it dry and it kind of got stuck in my throat, so that sucked. You guys don't need to you guys, my 2 subscribers, I love you, by the way. You don't need to know my life, but I will overshare anyways. Besides the point, I don't know. Average artists copy, good artists steal. Yeah. Steal everything. Steal an art style. Steal the pose. Steal the colors. I love stealing colors. One of my favorite paintings I've ever done, I stole the color palette from some mountain photo off Instagram. Well, here's the thing. There's a big difference between doing like a photo study and using a reference. Here is where I stop when it comes to doing photo studies or referencing. I think I mentioned it in my first AP art video, I believe, that stop copying Pinterest photos and putting them in for AP art. That also means that if you're just straight copying a Pinterest photo, don't fucking sell it. Especially if you think it's a photo, but it's actually an artist's art. No one knows what I'm talking about, but there was this, I think it was like Scrawlrbox or Sketchbox. One of them, the one that like features artists or whatever. There was one that featured an artist, and the thing is that they copied, they thought it was a photo from Pinterest, but it was very, very hyper realistic art. So the artist, not the one that copied, I'm not gonna throw shade like that, but the artist that they copied the photo from, they're not on Instagram anymore. If they are, they changed their name and I can't find it. But on Behance, it's, and I'm going to butcher this name. I think it's Russian. Alex Savertkov, or you can Google Savertkov art, and it's the one with the nun and the naked cat and the dog, but just the nun. That was the one that was copied, and it just bugged me to no extent. And I really think it's shady that I think it was Scrawlrbox that they would feature copied art. I don't know. I think I went on one of my accounts, I like DM them and I'm like, bruh, this is unethical, and they never responded. So there's that. But you know, here's the thing about stealing art, stealing references, stealing shit. You have to change it and make it your own. You have to add your own twist to it. You have to add your own spice. That doesn't just mean drawing something in your style. That means adding or subtracting things that are there or weren't there. You have to... Just drawing something in your style isn't changing it enough to make it your property. It's like it's somebody else's intellectual property. Property brothers. I'm calling the property brothers. So, this isn't really how to steal like an artist anymore. This is just me venting, ranting, rambling. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways. So it's perfectly fine to use Pinterest for reference photos, to get color palettes. It's perfectly fine to reference other artists, even if they say, don't reference my art. Like, just don't flat out copy. But if you like a pose they do, or if you like a subject they do, it's not their choice to say, oh, you can't, I drew a milkmaid or a nun or something out milking a cow, and you drew one? Wow. Copying. Or if somebody does like a pose and it's really cool and they want to reference the pose and change it a bit, that's fine. At people who literally just, all they do is redraw Pinterest photos in their own style, and then they have the audacity in their bios to say, don't reference or copy my art. Like, you're copying other people's art, you asshole. Sorry. Is this not recording? Oh my god. Wait, maybe I'm just a dumbass. Never mind. Okay, we're back. Take a little break. Gather myself. Lord. So, it's okay to reference, is my point. It's okay. The best way to keep, it genuine, keep yourself from being accused of copying, is to use a couple different references. Like I did here. I used a reference from Pinterest and 2 from Instagram. 1 from an artist and 1 from a photographer. Or photography, And unless you saw what I used as a reference, you wouldn't know that I basically ripped off a bunch of pictures to do this. Otherwise, like, I'd have to tell you, hey, I ripped off a bunch of people for this, and I'm readjusting, so you're probably gonna hear a bunch of me readjusting how I'm sitting with my iPad on my lap, because that's how I record. We love a broke bitch, don't we? I mean, iPads are also expensive, but this was like a birthday gift, so I didn't buy it. And it was like the new budget ones too. It wasn't a Pro, but it came. But since the Apple Pencil work, I think it's a year now, actually. So, still works great. Still have the same Apple Pencil. Thankfully, I have not lost. I mean, I've lost it temporarily in my house, but I haven't broken it. I haven't lost it. One of the longest times I've ever gone without, like, completely losing something. Back to the subject at hand. I'm so bad at staying on topic. God. And fucking iMovie won't let me speed my shit up more, so I have to talk for 20 minutes. Thank God my family's out of the house, so I can just laugh at my own misery. Ugh. My cat's just asleep next to me, like ignoring me. So here in this part of the drawing, I don't have my references up right now because I'm trying to like not use them because I don't want to copy completely, and I do want my own style, which I feel like I don't have one. I don't know, but I want my own touches to come through and kind of do their thing. If you can't tell, I can't do lips. I really don't know what color lips are. I'm so bad at them. So we're going with a nice dark nude lip. So this part, like the face, is honestly what I spent the most time on. The rest of it, so lazy. And the brushes I'm using are so the brush I started using in the beginning. Oh, hey, I have a hiccup coming on. There we go. So the brush I used at the beginning, it's just like the oval Procreate thing, and then I don't think there's a texture. Set to glaze mix. No. Glaze. Set to glaze, I think, and then I don't know what the rest of the settings are. And I use it to mimic this brush I got on the like the resources page of Procreate, which was like somebody was trying to mimic the Keenan Lafferty's chalk brush, but on Procreate. And I really like that. It has sharp edges, and sometimes I don't want that. So I wanted something that would work similarly, but be more soft. So I made it, and that's my concept brush, and I just called it my concept because I made it, and it's for concepts. It's a little more transparent than that brush I got, but it's pretty good. And then the brush set I'm using for the rest of it is the artwork by Gabrielle on Instagram and stuff. Her oil brush set. I really like it. I really like the textures. I like how the brushes work, and I like them a lot. It was like $8 or $9, I think. It was $8. So that's what I was using for the rest of it because they work really nice. You can find it on like Gumroad and shit. So that's another thing, like the brushes you use. If you're doing something digitally, if you want to kind of change up how the photo is, use different brushes. If you're stealing from an artist who uses like airbrushes or something and does painting, do cell shading. Change it so it's like, I'm trying to just beat this into you guys, my 2 subscribers. Beat it into you too, that you need to change something enough so that you're not copying, but you are stealing. Stealing is perfectly fine. I love stealing. Like, not shoplifting, stealing. Art lifting. Oh my god. We're art lifting. Art thrifting, maybe? You could say. But some of my favorite artists use Pinterest photos and stock photos, and with a mix of photos they take sometimes as their references. Like, I'm going to butcher her name. One of my favorite, Lioba Bruckner. She's German. She does YouTube videos, and she's really cool on Instagram. She'll use reference photos and kind of do these like photo mock-ups, like collages and stuff. Oh, that's another thing. You can mix together your reference photos to kind of get a one picture that's going to be what you're going to redraw. Love doing that. It just takes a lot of extra effort, and I choose not to most of the time. But she'll do stuff like that, and she'll use a lot of her own photos are photos of flowers and plants and stuff. I really love her use of that, and you know, it's a great way to learn how to maybe not necessarily draw from life, but you can get different elements of realism if you're drawing from like a photo of a person, and you can get those different levels that you want. Okay. What am I saying? Oh yeah, here I brought up the reference because the hand was looking like a fucking squid, and I needed to reference the hand some more, and I wasn't going to spend a lot of time on it, but I did spend, I don't know, a couple minutes. Yeah. You're going to see later I'm going to put a multiply layer over because I wanted this arch to have like a shadow, and I cut it out, but I tried doing like a painting it in, and it looked fucking terrible. And I was trying to do it kind of the way Ross draws paints because I was like, oh, we'll steal from him more, and I don't understand it at all. It looked like shit. So I went to my own way of coloring, but without most shadows for the most part. So there's that. What else about stealing? You can steal from life. Take photos of things you see in real life. Maybe somebody's house, somebody's garden. If you're people watching, you can redraw them in your sketchbook and then use their gestures later. So it's okay to steal, but not okay to copy. So here's like this little story. Back when I was starting Instagram, and I was like a shitty artist, and I was not I'm not part of the art community. Nobody likes me. People rarely follow me. All I get are unfollowers nowadays. But I also only use like 2 hashtags at a time. Back when I used to tag my art so much, I got way more likes even though I was a worse artist. So it's kind of like, okay, I like that for me. But I was drawing these things, and then somebody was like, someone who followed me, and then because I had so few followers. That's what I had. So few followers. Am I talking too fast? Well, I had so few followers that I saw their account, and they were literally just redrawing my art, and I'm like, okay. Like, it wasn't just copying the pose or drawing a similar character. It was literally the pose, the character, the colors, but worse. And I was already a worse art, like a terrible artist, and their art was worse. And I'm like, oh my god. But also, I was like 15. I don't know how old they were. Honestly, they were probably 12. And it's like, oh, somebody who's not that much better than me, but a little better than me, and I'll look up to them, and I'll redraw their art for whatever reason. And it's like, okay. So, like, don't do stuff like that. But also, don't get overly upset about it unless somebody's, like, completely saying, this is my idea, and they don't back down when you ask them not to. That's a shitty behavior. If somebody's like, oh, no, this is all my original idea. But they're literally... there's a difference between a redraw and a reference, you know. Don't redraw unless you're doing it for practice, and if you do post it, tag the artist, or tag, if you can, you know, at least say, you know, this is a redraw, this is a photo study, master copy, to learn. Not my idea, not my concept, not my characters, not my pose. You gotta do something like that, okay? Whenever I do photo studies, I tag it photo study because I don't know the fucking model for Pinterest, and I'm lazy. So I say photo study. I don't say my art. I say like sketch photo study because I like to share it. I like to have a I like to have a documentation of like the art I do and the kind of art I can pull off. But I also don't like, and to have progress and stuff, and how I am with drawing realistic faces or stylized faces or however I'm doing the photo study at the time. And you know, I like to share it, and then I don't say it's mine. Like, it's my art, but it's not my intellectual property. Like, if somebody draws the same Pinterest photo as you can't say, oh, you're copying me, you know? Yeah, you can't, because everybody draws photos from Pinterest. Oh, here's me adding the multiply layer. Multiply, yeah, that's how you say it. I used a blue from, like, the flowers. They're not, you know, the flowers. And so that's kind of what I wanted. I tried painting in it at first, and it looked fucking terrible. And, like, in the picture of that grease thing, I took that as, like, some lamp. So I'm making it a lamp. And we're almost done, so. I swear to God, if this takes like 3 hours to export, I will be shitting myself. Well, my cat is sound asleep. I love her a lot. And honestly, I like this talking. It's really nice, and it's kind of like therapy, but not therapy. Yeah. Bye, gang!